Hello, welcome to Candy's Crafts Corner. Today, February 5th, is my birthday. I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to... Oh, that explains. I'm still getting messages, I'm sorry. I don't know if I was going to be able to come live, but I decided, why not? I'm so sorry. I don't know if I mute this. I don't know if the voice is gonna be recorded. Anyway, I'm gonna leave it as is. And yeah, and I'll be back talking. I'm sorry about that. That got me distracted a little bit. But that's good because people are remembering me. Anyway, as I said, I decided that I was gonna show something quick and easy using the In the Country stamp set. And this is one of the ones you can get in Sale-a-Bration. We're in the second month of Sale-a-Bration. Hi, Nicole. Thank you for joining. We're in the second month of Sale-a-Bration. And that means that it's almost over, because at the end of this month, that'll be it for the rest of the year. So if you have the need for products or anything, now is the time. Because you can stock up and get free gifts for every $50, and they're cumulative. So one of them is this beautiful stamp set that I love, and I haven't played with it. So I was playing with it the other day, and I decided to, instead of just stamping it, I decided to color it using our inks and the water painter. So it's kind of like watercoloring, but using our inks, which is very convenient because you don't have to do have the extra water, because this comes with a water reservoir. So anyway, so I did the second image, the one with the road, and that's the one I was gonna show a little bit today how to do it. And I'm using these colors, but you can use whichever colors you have available, some browns and some greens, because it's country. So I'm using a little bit of balmy blue for the sky, and this to put some accents on the ground. And I'm stamping with the Sahara sand, because I don't want it to be the image I don't want the outline. So because I want it to look more like an actual watercolor than a stamp set. And then for the greens, I used these 4 greens, and I mix them a little bit. So I'll show you how to do it. Okay, olive, mossy meadow, shaded spruce, and evening evergreen. But as I said, you can use whatever you have available. And I haven't mounted the card yet. I actually cut it with the decal rectangles, because the image is not very big. It's just like that, as you can see. And I'm gonna do a card later, but I haven't put it together yet. But maybe we can put it together while we're here on the live. So let's see how we do with time. And let's stamp a little bit. So I'm stamping on top of the shimmer white paper, because it's a little bit thicker than a regular basic white, and it holds the water better. So it's not a watercolor paper. It's not our Fluid 100 that we carry it in the annual catalog, and I love that one. But Fluid 100 has a little bit of texture on it, and it doesn't stamp so well, the image, and I wanted the image to be stamped a little bit better. So anyway, so here's the image. It's clean set, so it already has the foam, the stamp. So let's stamp that with Sahara sand. And because it's a big stamp, I'm doing the other way around. I'm making sure that everything is covered, that it has enough ink. And it's not very strong, this color, but it's okay, because I want it to be diluted with the ink that we're gonna add later for the coloring. So here we go. Hope I'm on camera. I'm gonna center it in the middle of this piece of shimmery white paper. That's what, I don't know if you can see in it's a little shimmery. Can you tell? I'm not sure if it's visible. I think a little bit in the whitest parts you can see the shimmer behind it. It's very nice. All right, so this is our stamp image, which is very nice on its own, I think. But you know, if you want to add some color, you can actually put just a message here, happy birthday or thank you or whatever, and it will look very nice. But anyway, let's start with a little bit of coloring, and I'm gonna start with all olive, making a little bit more room. All you have to do is just press here so the water comes down, and you can see the water coming, and put it in the cover of your ink pad, and then just grab a little bit from the pad directly, and you can do that. Or if you have the ink refillers, you can drop a couple of drops here. But I like to do it like this because sometimes the ink refiller is too much. I'm gonna start with a very light wash at the beginning, so I'm gonna put a little bit more water. And ink is not as forgiving as watercolor. Not that watercolor is forgiving, but anyway, it dries very quickly. So once you put it in the paper, you cannot move it around as well, I find. Not that I'm an expert, but anyway. So I'm gonna start with just a little wash of the grass here, and we'll add accents as we go. Just a little bit of color, and you can do as little or as much as you want, but it's good to start light and then go to stronger color hues. Even though I'm gonna use different colors, greens for the trees in the background, I'm still gonna put a little bit of the wash of the green. And my green is not exactly all olive, all of it. May have a little bit because I mixed it up yesterday when I was doing the other. Let's put the other one here so you can see it. When I was mixing the other one, I mean, there was a little bit of mossy meadow in it and a little bit of shade spruce, I believe. But anyway, I diluted it enough so you can see. We're gonna put the other grass here, and as I said, a little bit on the trees as well. It's so light, I don't mind not being within the lines exactly. Alright. And what I didn't do yesterday when I was doing the other one is to do the sky before I do these trees, and I think that's a better idea, and I'm gonna do that now. Hi Abby, thank you. Yes, I've been celebrating my birthday with a nice brunch with friends, and I don't know where I put my paper towel, which I need. I was gonna say we need a paper towel to wipe this off and change colors, so let me grab one really quickly. Where the heck is it? I have it right here already. Oh, it's on the floor. It fell. It was right there. Anyway, so if you change colors, just press so the water comes in, and just until it comes clear, and you see it comes clear very quickly. And now it's clear, and I can use it in another color. Always close your stamp ink pads. Sorry, not the stamps, the ink pads, so they don't dry, especially when the heating is so strong like these days. So a little bit of balmy blue for very, very, very light. So I'm gonna use what I had from yesterday with just putting a little bit of water in it. And if I wanna do some more, and I'm gonna leave some parts white because I wanna pretend that there's some clouds in the sky. So just very light. If I want it darker, I can go at it again. So yes, as I was saying, I had a lovely time with some friends, and we went to a rooftop restaurant for brunch, and of course it was covered because it's cold, not as crazy as last Friday. That was really cold here, but yeah, it was covered and heated, so that was very nice. And it looks like you're outside because it's all like glass encased, so very nice. Lovely time. I'm not liking this cloud so much, so I'm just gonna make it smaller. There you go. Can you see? I'm gonna put a little bit more water in there. I don't know where I'm gonna cut this when I cut it, so I'm gonna extend it a little bit just to give myself some room to use whichever die I want to use to cut around. Okay, so this is clean. I can close this and we go back. I think I'm gonna do some brown for the fence and for the dirt. And actually for the dirt, I'm gonna do first a little bit more of these. I'm improvising a little bit. It's not exactly what I did yesterday, but you know. The dirt, there's some grass in the middle of the dirt road as well, so we'll go back to that. And it's your interpretation of it too. You have the stamp, but if you want to vary something from the stamp, you can totally do it by just, you know, just using it as a guide more than as a coloring. Okay, so a little bit, maybe a little bit of color in this, but I'm gonna go over this with the soft suede. And this goes around, this fence goes around here a little bit. All right. So we're gonna do soft suede, as I said, for the fence and some of the dirt. Soft suede is a like brown, it's a warm brown. I like it. So I want to start light and I can go darker if I want to. I'm not gonna care so much now about shades because, as I said, I'm just putting a little bit of wash first. And then, I mean, and this is just a sketch, it's very tiny. So we'll only be able to do so much. Something like that. Just adding some warm into this road. And if when you're putting the pen you think is too strong, you can press and get some more water in it as you're painting and moving it around. But as I said, this with ink, it stays pretty, you cannot move it around as easily as you can move around watercolor while it's still wet. You know, once it's there, it's hard to make it lighter. You could actually use the towel to do this and take some of the, but see, it doesn't, not much comes out of it. So you have to be very intentional. All right. So I'm gonna, while this dries, I'm gonna go back to the fence a little bit. And now I'm gonna take care of if the light is coming from this way, this part of the fence, and you can see in the stamp set that it was already a little shaded. You see a little darker here. So I'm gonna put a little bit more ink here, and it's getting very dark. But, and in the side of the stumps here, getting very dark, and then in the bottom part of this especially will be actually all in shade, but you know. And the same with this one. I'm using, by the way, the second, you see the second is the thinnest. The water painters comes in 3, actually is the thinnest one. Okay, this one is very broad. That is good for big surfaces. But this is such a small image that I thought that the little one is good enough. Okay, I love this. They're very, very convenient, and they're easy to take with you if you're on a trip, because you don't have to have the container for the water or to clean them. They're easy to move around. A little bit darker with this. If you need a little bit more ink, just grab it from here. I think it's getting dry. There we go. Now it's gonna be lighter, but I'm gonna get more ink. There we go. And just, you know, as you go, and as you like, you can put more color in it if you want. Now that I have it, I'm gonna emphasize these darker places here. Mimic some kind of like puddles in the, not puddles, but like holes in the road. Okay, let's let this dry a little bit. We are gonna go back to the greens. We'll do Mossy Meadow again. Get a little stronger mixture of it with more pigment. And I'm gonna mix it up with a little bit of old this is old olive, and now I'm mixing up Mossy Meadow. All right, so I'm getting some from here, and I'm gonna put it on my other pad so I can mix the two a little bit better. So they work together, you know. It's not like I'm applying a crazy color. I'm gonna go for the little parts of the, it looks like it's very light. The parts where you can see the little leaves of grass more here. I'm gonna put some on the middle here of the road. Just adding a little bit more color to these areas. And as you put the water, you can see that the ink below it gets a little darker as well. So you want to do it in little beads so you don't get too dark. Because once you get too dark, there's no going back. The base of the fence here, I think I'm gonna do a little lighter mix, because this is just way too light. And this, And just let the image underneath guide you, you know. I don't have to be super faithful if you don't want to. You can go on your own. You can add flowers here. There's no flowers, but we could add some flowers. I'm gonna try to do that actually. I didn't do it in the other one, but now I'm gonna add more color to these trees here in the back. But I'm gonna go mossy meadow with this, a little darker. Sorry, I don't know where to put my ink pad that you can see. This is my mossy meadow. I'm gonna go for the brown trees here in the back, because my spruces I'm gonna go with a darker green, and like there's seem to be some bushes here, and the important thing is not to do them all the same, because otherwise it looks like a little fake. All right. We'll add some detail to this later. I'm getting a little darker mossy meadow for the bases here, and you see there's a little bit of the shade of this pole of the fence, a little bit, so you can do a little bit of the shade there, and add some accents with a darker color. I used for this one shaded spruce for the shadow, but I didn't like it so much because it's way too cool. So I'm actually working with a darker mossy meadow today in this one. I think it's gonna look more natural. And there's, of course, there has to be the shadow a little bit of the fence that goes across, but it's not indicated in the stamp, but I'm kind of making it up. Oh well. All right, more green here. And again, I said it is a sketch, so it doesn't have to be super detailed. If you open the tip of your brush like this, you can just do like leaves of grass on the side. And put, like, being conscious that the bottom part of these trees was gonna be on the shade. Getting darker accents here. And these ones too. Let's put some darker color in the spruces here. So, but I'm gonna use probably, I did shaded spruce. I like the shaded spruce for those. The shaded spruces. So, perfect. I'm gonna clean my brush so I don't mess up my ink pad. Then once it's in the cover, you can mix it up because it's not gonna go into your ink pad, or you can clean it up after you're done, of course. And because it's very intense, oops, sorry, my glasses fell. Sorry. Because it's very intense, this color, I'm gonna dilute it a little bit and add maybe mossy meadow. Let's see. It cleans so easily. Let's try a little bit of mossy meadow. If you have the inkers, you can do all these in a palette and mix it up, but I don't mind using since I have them here. See, this has a little bit of warmer green that comes from the mossy meadow. And let's see how they look. It's looking a little light still, but we'll go over them with evening evergreen. I mean, they look nice. I mean, it's just, you know, I'm particular with my trees here. And you may not want to spend that much time coloring. I do like coloring. I find it very relaxing. The spruces, for the spruces, I'm just going across like this because it just mimics the branches a little bit. And it gives the idea of them. There's a tiny little one here. And then you can just add more pigment as you go. Alright. So I'm gonna put even more olive. Or maybe I'll do the other way around. Just put a little bit of the shaded spruce in the olive that I have here. Because I want to intensify a little bit the bushes around it. Maybe the trees. As I said, I don't want all the same because it's not all the same color. So I'll just be careful to just use this for the trees and not for the bushes underneath. So my paper is curling a little bit because it's wet and this is not watercolor paper. But it's fine. I can always put a book after I'm done with it. When they're dry, I can put a book on top of it. I'm just gonna add some. Oops, sorry. I'm not gonna stamp. I'm using the lid. There we go. This is a good color now. I use what I had in my brush with a little bit of the shaded spruce here. I'm gonna use this mixture for the bottom here of this, the end of this field. It's so tiny. I mean, I'm being very particular with it, but honestly, you don't need to be. As much or as little as you want. Darken it a little bit to give some darker accents to my spruces here. And like this evening evergreen. I think they make them come to life, don't you think? Hi Deborah, how are you? Thank you for joining. So a little bit of dark for the spruces back here, and then I'm gonna add some more dark here on the fence, and I think we'll call it a day. I think it looks pretty nice. Some dark touches in the bases there. All right, let's go back to the fence, and that will be our little coloring stint. Cleaning my brush right here so you can see me. I think I was on camera, but I'm always afraid I'm not gonna be. I'm just gonna put a little bit more of this mixture here. So let's work a little bit more on the fence, put a couple of dark accents, and that would be it. Actually, let me put a little bit of dark accents. And some of these trees in the bottom is gonna be pretty dark here. And that's it. Clean the brush again. Look how quickly, if you're pressing down, I still have a lot of water. And how quickly it comes clear. So you can use it with all your other colors then. I'm gonna use early espresso, but I'm gonna mix it with the soft suede, because early espresso is a more reddish, less warm. It's a little cooler. Let's see how this looks like here. You can always try in a little piece of paper before, but I'm gonna wing it. Yeah, that's a good color. Again, I'm going for the shaded parts of this. And it may have some knots or something that have some irregularities on the wood. And then we'll soften this a little bit. Alright. Just a little bit more, and if I put a little bit more water with this mixture, I'm gonna try to dilute this a little bit so it's not so strong. The line, you know, it's a little softer. As I say, it's harder to do this with ink. A little dark spots here and there in the throat. This came a little too dark for my taste back here, but it doesn't matter. I'll live with it. And that's it. I think it came pretty nice. So you're sending like a little watercolor, but actually with ink with your card. So let's close these all so they don't dry. The ink pads. And then I'm gonna see if I'm gonna mount this one because it's dry. I'm gonna let this dry. I use the decal rectangles to cut the image, and I have here someplace a decal rectangle that I can put like this. Guys, I'm winging this. I was not prepared because, as I said, I was celebrating my birthday with friends, so I was not at home. So, but I did the little image yesterday, and I'm thinking maybe we should mount it in some card. So let's try to do that. I'm gonna use Stampin' Seal. I don't want it all stuck. I like it that it's lifting up a little bit. And then I was thinking something like woody would look nice. So I got this piece of In Good Taste designer series paper that it's all wood. So that's gonna be my card base. But you see, it changes so much in colors. Depends on where it goes. And I think I like this part in the middle better, with the wood part. So let me see if I can cut this part. I'm making room so I can put my cutter on the table. I usually use it on my lap, but then you won't see anything if I do my lap. I see there's more people who've joined us. Thank you. Say hi if you want to. Okay, let's see. This should be... I'm gonna cut this part here. And this will be our 4. And now I'll cut this at 5 1/4. And this could go like this, or it could go like this. I think like this. I like this knot. Let's see, like this. Alright. And I'll put the message down here. Alright, I think that may work. For the message, I got a little, the smaller of the rectangles, and this is in crumb cake. They both are in crumb cake. Okay, so let me see what message I have available. I don't know. I didn't prepare the message. This is too big. But I think I have another one. Bear with me for a second, as I'm finding I can have for a very happy birthday, but this is too small. This is like Goldilocks, right? This is too big, this is too small, this is just right. Let's find the just right. I think that's what's gonna be it. It may be a little... Oh, I know what we'll do. No. I'm on the fence. This is what happens when you create on the fly. We could use some paper, some strip, put it on the strip, and then put the strip on top of the thing. But I don't like how it looks in white, because this color is more of white. Anyway, I'm gonna try this happy birthday. I think it's a little too small. For this, I think I'd rather have this happy birthday. Yes. Okay. We found it. May not be perfect, but will be okay. Everything will be on the little label that I created. I'm gonna do it with soft suede, and I need my matte. Foam matte, because this is photopolymer. I could have a thank you better. A happy birthday would have been better, but honestly, this is what I have. That's cute. I like it. And this I'm gonna put here with some linen to go with the rustic look that we have for this card. I'll double it. Oh, got all entangled. All right, 1 and 2, and almost to 3. Two. Let's see if I can do 3. Yes, perfect. All right, so I'm just gonna put it this trim. I'm gonna put a little bit of stamping seal on each side because I'm not gonna do them all the way around because this is paper, so it just doesn't work so well in my experience. So I put a little bit in there. Yeah, I like how the linen looks with this. And there we go. This will look nice, I think. And then we'll put the message on dimensionals. And we'll do some knot here with some other thing. Yes, that's what we're gonna do. So let's get the dimensionals. These are the little dimensionals. I want my big dimensionals. There we go. I have to be, like, I like to be careful when I'm putting dimensionals and there's ribbon, or especially linen. I try to put them so the linen can run through them, between the two of them, so they don't have the wiggly effect when you're mounting it on top of the linen thread directly. So I'm going as much to the edge that I can without it being visible. So let's see, I think that works. All right, let's try it before I take the tops off. See, now I can put it wherever I want. Usually for a label this big, I would put just 2 dimensionals, but in this case, as I explained, it makes sense. There, and this I'm just gonna glue down. I should have put it farther down. See if I can move it down a little bit. Lifting it carefully so it doesn't rip off. Oh, it's stuck there. All right, I got it. I got it. Yeah, I'm gonna move the linen thread a little bit farther down because I don't want my label to touch my image. Okay, that's too much. All right, trial and error here, my favorite part. Okay, now they don't want to stick. There. All right, that's gonna work better. Now we put it here in the bottom, and now I have room for my image right here. Perfect. And I'm still seeing the knot and the wood that I wanted. I usually like to use my liquid glue, but today I feel adventurous. There we go. So that will be our layer, and now we're gonna put, oh, we have to put a little bit more of a knot here. Knot. Yeah, I'll do okay, I think this, I'm just gonna cut them before I put them. just a simple knot. Not so simple when you cut the linen thread so narrow, but anyway, it looks nice. Trim the edges, the tails. And now all we have to do is put it in a card base. And the card base I have to cut because I wasn't ready, as I explained. Alright, let's see. These we're gonna cut in half, 5.5. I'm gonna score it at 4.25. That's a regular dimensions of a regular card base. Fold it, bone folder. There we go. Oh, by the way, I'm using early espresso for this card base. For this, I'm gonna use liquid glue, just because. I always like to put a little bit of extra glue on top of the ribbons or linen threads. Make sure they adhere well. Right. All right. So here we have our rustic in the country card. Made it a happy birthday because I always can use happy birthday cards. And we use the inks to color the image of the stamp set right here. Okay, hope you like it. I mean, you can finish this card with some embellishment, but honestly, I think I like it like that. I like it that it's rustic, and it can work very well for a more masculine card. So I'm gonna leave it like that, at least for now. You can always add embellishments later. Well, thank you so much for joining me on my birthday Facebook Live. And I hope you enjoy this, and I hope you have a great week. And I'll may have to change the time for the next live next Sunday because it's Super Bowl Sunday. I don't think anybody's gonna be watching me going live while watching the Super Bowl. So maybe I'll do it early in the day, okay? But I'll let you know. I'll post it on my page, and I'll let you know the time change. Thank you so much again, and hope you have a great week, and see you next week. Bye.